Hello. We're with the Santa Barbara High School newspaper, The Forge. We just wanted to ask you some questions.
Sure.
So your movie is Belfast.
Correct.
And, you grew up there. And so I just wanted to know how much of the film was exactly your story and what was added to it.
It's a good question. I mean, the riot that starts the movie that changes this kind of playground into a fortress absolutely happened. It happens very much like we presented in the movie. In the space of what felt like a few seconds, a rioting mob came through the street, picked up the pavements and put them into piles at either end of the street, and it became a barricade. And later on, we looted a supermarket. In the middle, I stole some chocolate and got caught for doing it. And generally, there are quite a lot of things there that are absolutely part of the real thing. But what I allowed myself to do was to sort of see it through the imagination of a 9-year-old who loves movies. So sometimes it's expanded a little, and he kind of sees the world a bit in terms of movie stories like westerns. So sometimes the story expands to what he'd like it to be, not necessarily what it is.
And were those films that were played in the movie films that inspired you when you were a kid?
Well, they were ones that really possessed me. I loved going, as a family, we would go to the big movie theater in the center of town, and the color and the widescreen nature of it, and I was very small. It felt like recently when I went to watch the James Bond film in 4XD and in shaky vision, as it were. That's what it felt like going to those movies. So they were very colorful, and my own life felt very sort of black and white by contrast. So that's why we shoot the bulk of the story in black and white, and then we jump into color every time we go to entertainment. Thanks very much.
One more question.
Sure.
How was shooting it in black and white? Was that process?
Well, you end up having to really consider texture and the graphic nature of things. But as our DP, our director of photography, said, color very much describes people, but black and white lets you feel people. So you can sort of go in. There's a poetic quality to it. It has something that is. It has a sort of magic to it, and we were influenced by a great French photographer called Henri Cartier-Bresson, and he would shoot films in urban settings, but he would often frame very big close-ups of people in foreground, and like this, a massive number of people in the background. So you tell a lot of stories, the place and the person, and usually some kind of secret hurt that you felt they were carrying. Black and white seems to let that be poetic in a way that it goes into something dreamy. And it's a weird paradox because it's not how we see the world. We see the world in color, but the black and white of it seems to kind of have a sort of magical realism that I really wanted. So it was a gut feeling to try and do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.